Hello, Aries. Welcome to your monthly reading for November 2025. This is for Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going to jump right in. Aries, listen, this is going to be a month. Everything's about to change, okay? You're going through some major transformation, and you're going to hit the ground running. It's going to be pretty enormous. This is an eye-opening month for you. Here's the other thing. If you are new to my channel, I am going to give your astrological overview. Then I'm going to do your full spread. Then I break it down week by week. I pull more cards. We'll cover a couple aspects. And then the second spread. Now, the other thing is, if you saw my November astrology overview live stream, and if you didn't, I'll leave it at the end of this video because there's a lot of content in there. You know that this month is bananas. Look at what's happening here, right? It's all transits and retrogrades. And yes, there's a lot more on the back. So what does this mean for you, Aries? Well, the transformation, the radical transformation that you've been having since this summer when you entered the prism portal. If you don't know what that is, I'll leave that video at the end of this video as well, what you can expect for the next 2 years of your life, Aries. All right. It's a rare grand trine that's happening that just never happened in modern human history. So you started going through a lot of change through the summer, okay? Big ones. It would even start back to spring with the new moon solar eclipse that was in your sign end of March. So you're going through a lot of change. This is where you're going to feel a lot of the rebirth part of your death and rebirth, because that is what you're going through. Right? You have a lot of energy in your 8th house, and we'll talk about it, right? That's caterpillar to butterfly. So not only did you start going through a lot of change this summer, you went through September's eclipse season where you learned surprises and twists are super fun. A lot of y'all had some major changes, big time, okay? September, remember, there's cycles too. They're ongoing. Your changes are ongoing. And then last month, with all that intensely passionate energy, Scorpio energy, right? Mars, your ruler, in Scorpio, Mercury in Scorpio, all that Scorpio energy that's spilling over into this month. Scorpio rules your 8th house of death and rebirth and transformation. So there's a new you that you are going to see this month and into December. So what does this even mean with all these retrogrades? By the way, there's 5 of them. Well, a lot of the aspects, the transits, everything from October spilling over into November. So that deep, intense, passionate energy that you've been feeling, especially when it comes to relationships and money and building your wealth and intimacy. Oh yeah, you're going to feel it a lot deeper, more intense. You're going to feel more passionate, but then you will also feel this slow burn because of the retrogrades. And it's good for you, all right? And these are only planets, by the way, all right? There's a lot happening in November. And when I say that, yeah, we're talking about Chiron, we're talking about Jupiter, we're talking about asteroids, planetoids. We'll talk about that next week. But this month can be a little complex. There's almost 40 major aspects. November is a little bonkers. So what we're going to do, we're just going to go through the transits and the retrogrades. And I'll throw in a couple aspects, but we're going to save those for your weekly forecast. All right. And that's because these are big. And we'll talk about the major lunations, like the full moon in Taurus. That's going to change everything for you. But I want you to consider them as chapters in your life story. That's how big these are. So the other thing is, you're going through enormous change with the fact that you're going to have a stellium in Scorpio all month long. Again, I'll let you know what that is, but just remember that's your 8th house. you're going through enormous change. Out of all the signs, you're going through a lot of change. All right. You're up there with Scorpio, with Aquarius, with the fixed signs. You're up there. All right. Now, the other thing is when I say it's a slow burn, yeah, you're going to go within. You're going to have a lot of changes within. You're going to spend time reassessing your life. You're going to spend some time even reinventing who you are. That's with these outer planets. They are going to be back in the positions they were the beginning of this year. So it's going to feel a little bit of deja vu. Okay? The first like 5-6 months. You already know Saturn and Neptune move back into Pisces. We're going to talk about the others. So, yes, November is going to feel a little deja vu-y. And out of sheer coincidence, a lot of the aspects that are happening this month are going to be repeats of what happened in the beginning of this year as well. So you can bet November will feel a little deja vu-y. Did you get that? Anyway, thanks for also staying up late with me, burning the midnight oil again. Once again, I feel like this is our thing now, Aries. And I think I said that last time. Anyway, you're going to go through a lot of internal change this month. Just keep that in mind. And like I said, aspects from October, and this is really important, spilling over into November, meaning that includes Jupiter trine Saturn. That's going to actually perfect in November, and that's huge. That's bringing growth and stability into your life for the long term. A lot of y'all are moving. If you haven't moved already, a lot of y'all are having changes at home in a really big way. Maybe you're buying property. Maybe you're selling property. Maybe you're working with a realtor. Maybe there's something here with a landlord. Maybe you're becoming a landlord. A lot of home stuff, especially with significant other, is also a big thing. So that's going to be a big focal point. But also, look at what's happening on Tuesday, November 4th. Mars moves into Sagittarius. So this is big. So your ruling planet, Mars, action and drive and your determination, ambition, leaving its domicile of the deep, watery energies of Scorpio into your BFF, fellow fire sign, Sagittarius. So things are going to be fast, things are going to be furious, but it's going to feel a little strange with all the retrogrades. Stay with me. This is your 9th house. So this is interesting. This is going to be more about your belief system. This is going to be more about the way that you see things, your mindset, your worldview, your philosophies. You're about to expand your horizons in ways that you haven't seen in 2 years. That's been 2 years since Mars has been in Sagittarius. You're going to be seeking a lot of adventure as well. A lot of y'all are going to be teaching, going back to school. A lot of y'all are also, and this is for the next 2 months. Yeah. You're also going to be traveling. I would not be surprised if it's long distance. If you're not traveling physically, travel of the mind. Again, expanding your horizons, right? All in the name of seeing the big picture. That is what's going to happen. Mars and Sagittarius. Sagittarius is very happy-go-lucky. This is really nice, okay? But there is this promise of more, okay? You're going to be seeking more, and you're going to get it. That's just how November is, but you've got to go within with these retrogrades. You've got to really harness the energy, trusting your intuition, connecting with your intuition, really knowing who you are on your journey, on your path forward. All right? Because there is going to be some surprises that come with this. All right? With Mars moving into Sagittarius, Mars will be opposite Uranus right off the bat. There may be some conversations that you have unexpectedly. And travel, honestly, is going to be a big thing. It's going to be rare for an Aries to not travel this month because Uranus is in Gemini, okay? Before moving back into Taurus, we'll talk about that. So it's your 3rd house of travel too. Now, Wednesday, November 5th, we have a full moon in Taurus, 8:20 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is really strong. Not only because the moon happens to be exalted in Taurus, it's bookended by Mars opposite Uranus, one of the most challenging aspects of the month, but also with one of the best aspects of the month. So it's a very interesting full moon. And Taurus rules your second house. And what is that? It's modern comforts. It's money. It's finances. It's your income. It's also material possessions. It's the things that you value. And you've got Uranus in an opposition. So there can be a little bit of a wake-up call with this full moon. There can be a little bit of restlessness to stability, to your values. All right. And to be honest, there may be some surprises. So this is definitely going to be a full moon that you want to watch. And I'm not saying it's bad. It's a wake-up call, right? There may be something here where even with Mars and Sagittarius, there's something asking you to see something in a different way. The moon illuminates. And I want you to think about the end of April when we had the corresponding new moon in Taurus. What happened around that time? Okay. End of April, you could have got a new job. There could have been something with money. Something with money was involved. All right. Now, there's going to be an adjustment here, and this full moon actually does feel like a portal because Uranus is moving back into Taurus. And we'll talk about that in a second. But with this full moon, ask yourself, do I want this? And when I say this, what is your job? What is your career? It's tied to the second house. There's definitely going to be something here when you have the moon in Capricorn later. There's going to be something here where there may be some adjustments. Remember, you have the South Node in Virgo in your sixth house of work anyway. A lot of y'all are having adjustments with career. Okay, so just keep that in mind. And remember, and actually the good aspect, the amazing aspect is Mars sextiling Pluto. And so Pluto in Aquarius is your 11th house of your future hopes and wishes and long-term goals and dreams and your social network, your community. It's networking. So there's something great happening at the same time. And this aspect is extremely rare. It's the two power planets. It's Mars and Pluto. So they're like a wrecking ball to anything in your way. So really spend time knowing what you want moving forward, because there is a little bit of a rumble with this full moon in Taurus where there can be something unexpected, right? But you have to see it as something's clearing the path for you with Mars sextile Pluto. Now, the other thing is Venus is moving into Scorpio. You see that's going to happen Thursday, November 6th. So Venus is leaving Libra, her domicile, moving into the deep, intense waters of Scorpio. Scorpio rules your 8th house. Again, that's transformation, that's regeneration, that's also wealth building. It's building relationships, it's deepening relationships and intimacy and money and wealth and inheritance, investments. You've got Venus, a planet of money, in your 8th house of shared resources and money, while you have the full moon in your 2nd house of resources, because Venus is Taurus's ruler. So do you see how money is a big thing for you right now? Okay. And Venus will be in Scorpio pretty much all month. So therefore, money is going to be a big theme for you all month. And relationships in your transformation, because you've got Mercury, the sun, and now Venus, a stellium of inner planets, meaning you're really going to feel the aspects they have all month in Scorpio in your 8th house. That's asking you to change. Remember what I said last month, all this Scorpio energy, what are you willing to endure for what you desire? And yes, it's Scorpio energy, that detective energy. Secrets coming to the surface, truths coming to the surface, revelations. All right. That will be a thing. It is Venus in Scorpio. So it's basically Venus wearing knee-high boots. All right. And this is when you see a little bit of the villain side of you come out too. I want this. I got to have it. Nothing's going to get in my way. I'm with the sun. I'm with Mercury. I'm going to get my way. All right. Intense passion. Remember, it's intense passion. And don't worry, when I say villain, it's more like Tom from Tom and Jerry. All right. Anyway, this is going to be really big for you. And you are definitely, it's happening right at the time of the full moon. You are definitely going to, there's going to be some truths coming to the surface. Let's keep it light until next week when I tell you that Venus is going to square Pluto. So there may be something with a friendship here as well. All right. Not seeing eye to eye. There may be something. Or a group that you belong to, collaboration, something like that. With Uranus moving into Taurus, this is a bigger thing. All right. Uranus retrograde, moving back into Taurus, leaving Gemini. So what does this mean? Saturn and Neptune moved back into Pisces. Yeah, last month. So they've been in Pisces since March 2023. So you've been experiencing that for that long. Uranus, the planet of breakthroughs and, your awakening and innovation, but also the unexpected and surprises, a little rebellious energy. Uranus is moving into Taurus where it was since May 2018. So Uranus is going to be here until April 2026. Yeah, right up to your birthday season. This is moving into your second house of income, salary, finances, but also it is stability. It's just this Taurus energy. For you, again, it's just all about modern comforts, and that does include money. All right? So this is going to be a big deja vu moment for you because you've had Uranus and Taurus since 2018. You had a little break over the summer when Uranus moved into Gemini, where you had a lot of focus on your third house, the mind. You were seeing things in different ways. You were expanding your mind, expanding your consciousness. You were having a lot of different moments in communication, PR, marketing, advertising, branding yourself, launching businesses, travel. Again, there was possibly some extemporaneous trips that you took. Short distance, nothing crazy. Some of y'all did long distance though. But what happened there is Uranus and Gemini expanded your mind. It brought this profound innovation, change in the way that you see things and the way that you communicate, a lot of creative energy. And so that really set you up for Uranus moving back into Taurus, having this almost like this, more expanded way of seeing things. You probably had some incredible breakthroughs, all right, to become the best version of yourself. So this is still part of your personal revolution. Uranus is all about revolution, right? And you've got the Scorpio stellium. In fact, Venus, like I said, is Taurus's ruler. So what does this mean for you? This means you are going through radical change. And this is a month of money, savings, investing, inheritance, income. It's all about money. You're going to have a stellium, that's 3 or more planets in a sign in Scorpio. That's your 8th house of shared resources, assets, other people's money, right? Inheritance, investments, as I said, but also a full moon in Taurus, but Uranus moving back into Taurus all month until April in your second house of earned income. So you see how money's going to be a big theme for you this month. Yep. And remember, when outer planets move, they move. They move. You're going to feel this. Again, it has a little bit of a rumble. So there's going to be some changes here. And remember, Uranus is just changing signs. It's still retrograde along with 4 other planets. So a lot of the changes are going to be from within you. You are going to seek that breakthrough in terms of money, earning money, saving money, investments. It's going to be a big theme. And another thing that's happening actually, well, this is once in a lifetime. Remember, Uranus is not going to be back in Taurus for 84 years. So it can be a little bittersweet for some of you. It can be even a sense of relief with Uranus outside of Gemini. for a couple months. That was strong. It was really strong. It stayed at that 0 degree point for a really long time, 1 degrees. Now, Sunday, November 9th, you got Mercury retrograde, okay? As you know, Mercury retrograde, it does bring delays, miscommunication, travel. Be very mindful. This rules your 9th house of long distance travel. Book your hotels now. Do everything now, okay? It is Thanksgiving, right? A lot of you are going to be traveling. So just be mindful. I always say with Mercury retrogrades, when you're aware of the fact that there is possibility that there is a flight delay or things like that, it makes it easier as long as you're aware of it, right? Now, the other thing is that Mercury's in Sagittarius, and Mercury's not very comfortable there. It's very strange for him because Mercury's Gemini's ruler, and that is Sagittarius opposite sign. So Mercury is far from home. Gemini is the mind, right? Sagittarius is more about your beliefs and self-belief and your belief system. So what does this mean? This Mercury retrograde, yeah, you're going to be re-examining a lot of your beliefs in the way of becoming wiser. All right. That's the 9th house. There's also going to be some emphasis on you possibly going back to writing a book, a blog, a podcast, but it's all about reassessing. Okay. Use this Mercury retrograde, and it's Sagittarius energy. Remember, it's the big picture. A lot of you are going to go back to places that you used to love as well. And yes, a lot of people from your past definitely coming back. It's just how it is. It's very interesting what's happening for you, because this is possibly the biggest wake up call month that you're going to have this year with everything that's happening here. Now, Tuesday, November 11th, Jupiter retrograde until March 2026. This is going to be a thing. This is good. This is good. Remember, all these retrogrades, they're good for you. You're going within. You're spending time with, introspection. This is going to be really nourishing. Jupiter and Cancer in your 4th, so much attention in home and family. And like I said, real estate. These are going to be big themes. All right. You're also, and the foundations of your life. And this is a retrograde. You may even go so deep as to discovering your roots or ancestry. All right. Now, there is a self-nurturing quality here. So whatever is happening here, there's almost like, again, becoming wiser, feeling wiser with anything that you're processing, anything that you're going through for improving things in home and family. This is all about your personal development too. And yes, you're still going to get blessings and good fortune, luck from Jupiter. But at this point, you have Saturn, Neptune, Uranus, Mercury, and now Jupiter retrograde. So really good time to downward dog. Spend time in nature. Focus on your chi, your prana, your chakras. This is your time. Okay. Remember, a lot of the shifts that are going to be happening this month is based on you and what you decide by connecting with your intuition and really, really going within. Now, the other thing that's happening is, Sunday. We'll talk about this briefly. You do have the sun trine Jupiter. One of the best aspects, one of the luckiest days of the month, to be honest. You have the sun in Scorpio in your 8th house, trining Jupiter in Cancer, right? Jupiter's exalted in Cancer. So please circle this in your calendar. This is going to bring so much attention in home, family, the foundations of your life, but also your transformation and how everything is changing for you in a very optimistic way. It's Jupiter, right? The changes that you want. And again, building this long-term dream and wealth investments, as I mentioned, partnership building, right? It can be business partners, it can be investors, it can be your partner, but there's something really radiant here because when you get to Monday, November 17th, You got the Sun, Trine, Saturn. So what does that mean? Remember, I said in the beginning, you still have Jupiter, Trine, Saturn. Now, this is a package deal. What's happening on the 17th and the 16th. But to be honest, you're going to feel this days before and pretty much the all of the week, because you have this wonderful grand water trine. It's so bonkers, this one, with the Sun trine Jupiter, and then you've got the Sun trine Saturn, Jupiter trine Saturn. There's a triangle, right? And they're perfecting at 25 degrees. This is just amazing, okay? All three of the planets. So Saturn brings that stability, Jupiter brings that luck, and you've got the Sun in Scorpio. That's all about your transformation and money and relationships and sex too, by the way. It's your 8th house. So with that said, this is going to be a pretty intense day on the 17th, because you also have Mercury sextile Pluto. There's going to be some words exchanged, right? You're going to have some words. Good ones. This is a sextile. But the moon will be in Scorpio. If you're a subscriber, you know I've talked about the moon in Scorpio. In fact, the day that I filmed this, the moon is in Scorpio. There is an intensity to the moon in Scorpio. And so the fact that you have Venus in Scorpio, you have a stellium in Scorpio, all right? Again, in your 8th house of wealth building, of intimacy, inheritance, investments. There's a lot happening here when you throw the moon in here, all right? Again, is that I got to have it. I'm going to get it. It's that energy. Nothing's going to stop you. It's part of your transformation. There's a party happening in the sky with a grand water trine, with Mercury sextile Pluto, with a stellium in Scorpio. You've got the moon here now. Just know this is going to be a really big day. We'll talk about it in your weekly forecast. Tuesday, November 18th, you have Mercury going back into Scorpio. All right. So Mercury's retrograding all the way out of Sagittarius back into Scorpio. So now you've got 4 planets in Scorpio. I hope that you are right. I hope you're circling this in your calendar. Again, the 8th house is deep. It's intense. There's a level of depth that it's like pouring your heart out. There's so much happening here. And it's a place where other people are involved. Again, it can be a business partner. It can be family for you. You have so much family energy. It can be your significant other. There's so much here. But prepare for change, dramatic change. This day, the moon will conjunct Venus, and then Mercury will conjunct the Sun. Look at what's happening. So there's a buildup to something really big. And as you can see, November 19th or November 20th, depending on where you live, the new moon in Scorpio, 28 degrees. This is a new moon, just like the full moon in Taurus. This new moon is not going to be quiet. You've got Mercury not only conjunct the new moon, but you've got Mercury and the new moon opposite Uranus. Yeah, that's happening. And Mercury will trine Neptune, by the way. This is a very emotionally charged new moon. All gas, no brakes. There's a lot happening here. You've got the grand water trine with the Sun, Jupiter, and Saturn overlapping this, meaning the new moon is part of the grand water trine. You have Mercury completely perfected with Neptune. And remember, Mercury's back in Scorpio. So retrograde. A lot of themes from October are going to come back up again. Yeah. And the fact that you have it, this new moon opposite Uranus, now in Taurus. Again, these are the 2 money houses of the zodiac wheel where the biggest emphasis is for you. But there's something new brewing for you. But you have Uranus in the mix. So there can be something sudden news. It's Mercury, right? There could be something unexpected. There could be a big surprise, but also a big breakthrough of a new moon. We will talk about it a lot more in your weekly forecast, okay? I will tell you one other thing. I don't think it's on the whiteboard. Venus, who is in Scorpio, will be aligning with the nodes, north node, south node. That's going to be a big deal. It's amazing. You got Venus trining the north node in Pisces, where you already have Saturn and Neptune, and also sextile the south node in Virgo. So you've got this nodal axis, something fated here with money. It's very interesting. And there's something here with like work as well. A lot of y'all may be getting new jobs. There may be something here as part of your daily activities, maybe even health matters. A lot of intuitive energy that's really flowing with the fact that you have Saturn and Neptune and the North Node in your 12th house, which is intuition. So it's a big day. Mark it in your calendar because look at what's happening. November 20th, you have a Mercury Cazimi. It's been building up for the past few days. It's this big reset. It's like you get this huge moment of clarity, right? Regarding relationships and partnerships and building your wealth and your legacy. That's the 8th house and intimacy. But the bigger highlight is Uranus and Taurus, sextile Neptune and Pisces. This is one of the highlights of the year of 2025. It's happening at 29 degrees, critical degree. It's strong. It's so strong. And as you know, Uranus, sextile Neptune, is part of the prism portal. You felt it strongly in August. We had it then. Remember, the prism portal is years long. Remember, there are peaks of it. We had one in August, but Uranus and Neptune were in different signs. Here, this is down to the minute. This is a tight perfection with Uranus and Neptune and Taurus and Pisces. So, again, this is going to be a big day. Uranus and Taurus in your second house of finances, income, salary, money. Neptune and Pisces in your 12th. The subconscious, healing, intuition, spirituality. There's a lot happening. There's a lot happening for you. There is a sense of relief here for something that's just you've been working with. The other thing is, these are two outer planets. It's generational. Remember what I said in August. This aspect we have not had since the late 1960s. So you're going to be embracing that energy of revolution, your personal revolution of this poetic, visionary, artsy energy. It is the 12th house. There's a lot happening for you. So a lot of y'all are becoming healers. A lot of y'all are leading by being visionary, and even, making money. It's your second house. There's something here that's going to change everything for you. It's going to flip the script. It's amazing. It's an absolutely amazing aspect. So prepare for change. Okay. And also the second house, remember, material possessions. It's also it is just comfort. I want you to think just comfort, but there is a sense of epiphany. It's happening at the same time as a Mercury Cazimi, as a new moon. I mean, there's so much happening around this day. Now, Friday the 21st, you do have the sun moving into Sagittarius. We move into Sagittarius season. You are really going to be traveling, right? You're going to be broadening your horizons. Remember, this is still all about the big picture. You're going to feel really compelled to become wiser, right? That's the 9th house, wisdom, okay? Through your work, your family, friends, education, it really doesn't matter. You're just going to feel this calling. It's really strong. You have your ruling planet Mars here. It's really going to amp things up for you. So self-belief is going to be really big as well. It really is. Within the next 4 weeks, you're really going to learn it's your freedom that requires faith, right? That's what you're going to feel here, okay? With Uranus so active in Taurus, Uranus is freedom, all right? Pluto and Aquarius, still remember the trine with Uranus. There's this big breakthrough, especially in the way that you're seeing something. And it's definitely going to be circumstantial, like getting a new job or moving. Everything is going to change. Again, we'll break a lot of this down in your weekly forecast. November 22nd, just highlighting, we will have Mercury trine Saturn and Jupiter. So you have another grand water trine. Again, you have so much happening with money, relationships, home, and family. November 24th is when we do have Mars bending the nodes of fate here. Again, it just feels like there's going to be some really big shift in the way that you see something that's going to happen around this time. Now, you see on November 26th, Venus will trine Jupiter and Saturn. Jupiter's trine Saturn. What does this mean? You have another grand water trine, this time with Venus. Money, love, huge. Throughout the last week of November for you, there's something really big that's about to happen for you. All right? Mark this in your calendar. You have the planet of money and love in Scorpio, in your 8th house of money and love, but intense, deep passion. And it can be business partners too, by the way. Now, Thursday, November 27th, happy Thanksgiving. This is when Saturn moves back into Pisces. We'll talk about it in your weekly forecast, but this is, Saturn's been retrograde since July 12th. And I think that, and you tell me, remember, Saturn was in your sign for several months over the summer, conjuncting Neptune. How did you feel with that? It's very different from Saturn in Pisces. So Saturn is actually direct now in Pisces. Remember, Saturn's helping your dreams become reality. A lot of heightened compassion here. This is very spiritual for you. Very artistic too, very creative energy that you're going to be feeling this forward momentum with Saturn direct. Okay. So very interesting because Saturn is not going retrograde, right? Saturn is going direct. You're going to feel this. There's going to be things that are happening for you, especially with career. Remember, Saturn natively rules your 10th house. So there's something here that's you've learned over the summer. You've tapped into that spiritual warrior and you've brought it along with you. And through these retrogrades, you're learning a lot about you. There's something here that, again, everything that's happening for you this month, they're pretty major. You're going to go through some big, significant life changes. But Saturn going direct, again, mostly career stuff for a lot of y'all. If you're here for career, if not, fame. If not fame, it's, 10th house activity. So the way that you want to be recognized, your reputation is very public facing. Now, November 29th, Mercury officially goes direct, no longer retrograde. You've got Venus moving into Sagittarius. We'll talk about that in your weekly forecast. That's going to be really nice for you. I think that you're going to love that. Especially, again, Venus and Sagittarius being just a fellow fire sign like yours. Like, you're going to feel that energy, especially the fact that you have Mars there with Venus moving into December. Really nice. All right. So, Aries, let's get started. Let's see what's going on for you for November 2025. For Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Aries, how are y'all doing? Where do y'all go? Come on. It is, we're burning the midnight oil. And I forgot to put on my sweater. I gotta find it. I don't know where it is. I'll find it later. I do a traditional color cross spread, offers the best overview. If we need to pull clarifiers, you know that we will. Secondly, Aries, I love y'all. Y'all are amazing. Thanks so much for staying up late with me. I feel like Elvira. You're really, honestly, this is gonna be a life-changing month for you. When you've got the North Node with Saturn, with Neptune, all bundled up in your 12th house during a season of retrogrades, which is, it's rest and retreat. It's healing, but it's also hidden matters. You've got all these stelliums that are happening in Scorpio, your 8th house, new moon in Scorpio, which is revealing things, right? Revelations, Pluto and Aquarius. There's truths that are going to come out this month. All right. You're going to be really honest with yourself about things that you may have been for some time, like, Well, I don't know. Like, now you know. All right, let's get started. Yeah, you're going to have a month. You're going to have a month. Big month. Big breakthrough. You got temperance. Amazing. So, literally, as you move into November, temperance is Sagittarius. All right. You have Mars, your ruler, moving into Sagittarius. You're going to feel that right off the bat. And balance. Okay. Balance. Inner balance. Mind, body, spirit, all of that. But also in your external world, this is just saying practice patience, especially with Mars and Sagittarius, because it can be really fiery. Practice patience. What is that wisdom, that inner wisdom that you want to connect with? Okay. Your pineal gland, your intuition, your sixth sense, that knowing. As you move into this month, use it in terms of what do you need to know? What do you need to hear? What is it that your future self is telling you, right? Go within. Go within. You've got an archangel here telling you you're good. You're going to be fine. You're on a path. Wherever you want to get to, you're going to get there. I'm going to make you get there. So you don't need to worry. You don't need to stress. You don't have to try to force anything. Don't resist any change. You're taken care of. All right? Because you're also having a huge breakthrough. The Ace of Swords and the heart of your spread. Remember, this is a monthly forecast. Some of y'all are going to be signing something, big contract. That's victory. That is success. That is also the biggest sword in the deck. That's a lot of power. All right. You're going to have a lot of power. Ace of Swords, aces usher in new change, new beginnings, new opportunities. I said from the get-go, you're going to feel change right off the bat with that full moon in Taurus. Okay. It's going to be big. But this is huge. All right. Big mental breakthrough too. There's possibly a big conversation, big discussion. You're making a big decision. Life changing. It's the Ace of Swords and the heart of your spread. You have the Six of Cups in your challenge area. Okay. Here's the thing. Retrogrades, Mercury retrograde. Even the fact that you have, 2 planets in Pisces in your 12th house, which rules the subconscious, right? What is the subconscious? It's where we store our memories. So when I say things from the past are going to resurface, yeah, they are. And you are going to feel very nostalgic to things from the beginning of the year, but also things back to October, even back to 2023 with Saturn and Neptune in Pisces. But there may be a sense of, I wish it was like this. I wish I could go back to this. No. Okay. No, have your breakthrough. You're about to move into something bigger. Okay. So Six of Cups is highly associated with nostalgia, but you want to keep it with nostalgia. Nostalgia is proven to, improve wellness and well-being. It's in your challenge area though. So there is a sense of feeling a little, maybe some moments that, with some of the aspects happening this month, you could feel that there's you don't feel that comfort, right? This is the biggest house in tarot. There's so much kindness here. You see the two people. There's kindness, there's sharing. And I said earlier, there's going to be a lot of decisions you make with someone else on your journey. It can be your lover, your significant other, business related, family, whatever it is. There's some we need to talk energy. There may be some moments. Okay. This card is attributed to Sun and Scorpio. You have, again, a lot of energy in Scorpio, which is deep transformation. But it looks like someone else is involved here. And it feels like you can't tap into your inner child. There's something preventing that. And it does feel like someone else is involved. May have to do with this big breakthrough of you seeing things in a different way. 2 of Wands in your crown. Knight of Cups in the root of your spread. All right. So here's the thing. A little bit of hesitation, a little bit straddling the fence, right? With that 2 of Wands. I like it. It's your card. It's attributed to Mars and Aries. He's got the world in his hand. But there is a sense of you're going to have this big moment. You're going to have a big, powerful decision, movement, conversation signing something, but you've got to be all in, okay? And this is really great as part of these retrogrades, going within, planning what's next. You have the Knight of Cups as well. So partnerships, relationships, still a big theme for you this month. But at the end of the day, there's just something that you're seeking, and it's this emotional fulfillment. All right? A lot of creative energy with the Knight of Cups. I want you to use it. Create, right? There's this journey. You're on this mission to feel fulfilled emotionally and spiritually. Okay? So take your time. You see, there's a little bit, you got Temperance, you got the Knight of Cups, who's, he moves at a leisurely pace. You got the 2 1s here. So there is a sense of, you can see the retrograde here. Just kind of like going at your own pace, going within. You got the 5 of Pentacles in your future. This breakthrough that you're going to have, like I said, you've got to be all in. And for a lot of y'all, there may be something that has to do with your mindset about your future. You have the 5 of Pentacles in your future. This card is a Taurus card. First of all, remember Uranus moving back into Taurus, full moon in Taurus that I said has a little rumble to it. That is in your second house of comfort, okay? And money and finances. What did I say about that? Comfort, right? And so there's something here that's connected. You see, again, 2 people here, right? So someone else involved. And it could be a feeling of maybe you feel like someone's holding you back, or it could even be you that may be holding someone else back. And that is maybe something that you're doing purposefully, right? But whatever the case is, and you do have the South Node in Virgo. Let's remember, you will have Mars square the South Node around the 20th. That's it could be a colleague or employee as well, boss, intern, whatever it is. There's going to be something that you're going to go through where you're going to have to realize that you do have support all around you. You've got to seek it. You have to reach out through your retrograde moments. All right. So let's get to your stuff. And the 5 of Pentacles, there's, again, your second house, there's going to be some shifts, changes with finances, but that's why you have all this 8th house energy. You're thinking more long-term, like savings, investments, building your wealth, moving toward your legacy. All right. All right. Aries, if you like this reading, by the way, it'd be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments, all of that. Tell me what's going on. Aries, anyway. Oh, wow. Whoa. All right. Yeah, things are going to change this month. Very interesting. Very interesting. Wow. So there's going to be changes. Yeah, the Page of Cups. Okay? Go for it. You've got to make a big decision. You have to follow your bliss. You have to go after what you desire. And there are going to be some surprising moments. You can also surprise yourself. Wow, I can't believe I did that. I feel empowered. That kind of energy, okay? A lot of you are seeking someone to be on your side, and it could be the person that you may be with. Again, business, love, family, whatever it is. But there may be a little bit of, we need to talk because something doesn't feel right. That type of energy, all right? 7 of Swords. External factors area. There may be something here where there's something that this card is associated with lying, cheating, stealing, deception, dishonesty, disloyalty, deceit. This feels like there's cutting away of something that you know that there's something that's not right. Okay? But you have to be honest with yourself and recognize that it's happening, and you've got to take care of it, because if you don't, you're just pushing it to the side and it's still there. You haven't accomplished anything, right? It's still there. It's in your subconscious. So use that sword. there's going to be something this month that you're going to have to address. And it may be an uncomfortable conversation that you may have to have. But sometimes you have to get uncomfortable to get comfortable. Okay? Now, Ace of Pentacles. Yeah. All you want is this new path. All you want is this, even like material possessions, but just new path. It's the biggest pentacle. You have 2 aces. You can have it, but you have to go all in. Okay? You want to, but there is hesitation here is all I'm saying. So remember, it's good people are going to be coming back from the past, right? Resurfacing, but you are going to be thinking about the past. Don't get stuck there. Be inspired by great things that happen. Maybe you did a road trip with your friends from Tallahassee to Key West, wherever it is. Back in the 90s, you were listening to Four Non Blondes and cranking up the music in your Volvo. Think of those great memories that inspire you, all right? Anyway, you can have it all. You have the 3 of Swords. There's going to be some emotional moments. You're going to have some emotional impact, and it is going to be something that you're going to do some healing. Remember, I told you have Neptune, you have Saturn in your 12th and the North Node. That's all about healing. But you're protected because you have Jupiter in Cancer that's trine Saturn in Pisces. And then remember, you have like 3 grand water trines with Venus, with Mercury. And Mercury is the one that's, we got to talk, right? Mercury is communication. So, yeah, you have a big month. Let's clarify some things. Let's see the 5 of Pentacles. 10 of Swords. This has got to end. There's something here. And this card, these 2 people they're focusing on their plight. So they're, in a sense, refusing the sanctuary that he can literally touch it. I mean, they're right outside the church. So there is a sense of like, this is really hard. This is a little bit challenging. There could be some loss here, financial loss. It could be your company laid off or whatever it was. But it does feel like a little bit more of, it's almost like there's something here where you may be holding yourself back from something. That 10 of Swords is going to clear the decks, okay? And again, there may be something hard here, as in, I had to go through this to become this new me, all right? You have a lot of power. Use it responsibly, but there's something here. Look at this. With 7 of Swords, 10 of Swords, 5 of Pentacles, this 10 is the end. The sun is coming out, okay? There's dark clouds. This is the card of new dawn. So there could be something here that's going to be a little bit uncomfortable. Maybe a conversation you have to have with all these swords. That's all about communication. But you have to be honest with yourself to make it happen, okay? And then it's all over. Let's look at the 3 of Swords. And yeah, the 3 of Swords is that heartache card. Yeah, and then you have the Queen of Pentacles. So look at what's on the other side of this, right? So you have this moment, you do this healing, and you have Chiron in your sign too. There's going to be aspects with Chiron. Remember, Aries is on top of Chiron. Chiron is the wounded healer. A lot of things that have to do with the past. There's going to be some difficult, challenging decisions that you're going to have to make. Queen of Pentacles on the other side. That's world building right there. That's you having the resources to build the world that you want to live in. There's a sense of renewal here as well, and comfort, taking care of the people that you love. This is amazing. So you're actually really good. This, though, there is something that is a life experience, but you have to recognize it and not ignore it. Remember, truth's coming to the surface in a really big way. Now, let's break it down week by week. Aries, first week of November is a lot. Remember, you have the full moon in, well, you start with Mars moving into Sagittarius. You have the full moon in Taurus. You have Venus moving into Scorpio. You've got Uranus going back into Taurus. That's enough. Let's see what's going on. That's a lot. And remember, there are so many aspects. We'll talk about another. Well, there you go. You got the Six of Wands. There's your Mars and Sagittarius moment. Also Venus and Scorpio, but full moon in Taurus. I mean, there's changes. That's amazing. You have the Six of Wands. That's a success. That's public recognition. That's victory. That's honors. That's achievements. That's triumph. It's rising above. There's something that you're getting recognized for. There's something really nice. And it goes well with that Temperance and the Ace of Swords. So again, from that point, it's you still have to go all in on something here. The second week, you got Mercury going retrograde. You got Jupiter going retrograde. You've got the Sun trine Jupiter on the 16th, November 16th. That's absolutely amazing because it's forming a grand water trine. The Sun is going to trine Saturn. I love it. I love it. That's amazing. Let's see what's going on for you. The second week of November. Look at you. Look at you. Nine of Pentacles. Remember, Pentacles are your physical world, your physical realm. I said you're going to have a lot of money stuff, okay? Growth, abundance. You've got like investments, inheritance, income. That's amazing. This is you earning your spot here. This is saying, hey, I worked hard. I'm luxuriating in my abundance. And the Nine of Pentacles is highly associated with like retirement as well. If you're here for that, there could be something that you got this really great recognition, this farewell party. You're retired. There you go. That's amazing. You're good. All right. Now, the third week, the third week, you still have those grand water trines. Mercury moving back into Scorpio. You've got the new moon in Scorpio. You got Uranus, sextile Neptune. You got the Mercury Cazimi. You've got so much happening. And then Sagittarius season. Let's see what's going on for you the third week. Yeah, you got the Hierophant. Wow. You're going to be learning some lessons. Okay. And I say that because the Hierophant is, he is a big teacher, but he's a spiritual leader. He is the Hierophant. He's the high priest. He's the connector between the divine and our physical world. But there is this, again, you've got so much happening spiritually for you this month. All those retrogrades is really great. Now, secondly, Hierophant is Taurus. Okay. That's going to be a big theme for you. And it is all about just stability too. Okay. Your foundations. There is a sense of organizing things in your life and even just self-worth, self-value. You're going to feel this Taurus energy from the get-go, but you see, it's making you wiser. This is all about wisdom. That's why you had to go through this, because this young man, his hand gesture, same as the Hierophant. Blessings. Whoa, that was perfect timing. And that's supposed to be off. Sorry about that. But anyway, you're fine. You're good. I'm going to show you something. Let's do the last card. Last card, there's just so much. You got the Venus. You got Venus in the grand water trine. You've got Saturn going direct. You have Mercury going direct. You have Venus moving into Sagittarius. Let's see what's going on for you. Last week of, oh gosh. Okay, well, you got the high priest and the high priestess. You got the pair. When I say this is a spiritual month for you, look at what's happening here. You have the high priestess, the first of all, guardian of the subconscious, right? You've got so much happening in the subconscious. As I explained, you've got all these retrogrades asking you to go within, right? That's where all the answers are at. But then you have all this Scorpio energy, this stellium in Scorpio, truths coming to the surface. You can't hold back.
There are things that you're going to have to confront, and some things may be the hard way. Right here. But it doesn't have to be. Remember, it's these two people, like I said, they're focusing on their plight. That's like they're playing the victim here, right? And I'm not saying you are. I'm saying that's what's happening in this card. It's just saying, even with that Seven of Swords here, it feels like someone has this emotional manipulation around you. And could be even, remember, I talked about this with the Scorpio energy, those lower expressions can be like a little, if this is an Aquarius card, Pluto, Scorpio's ruler, is in Aquarius in your 11th house. It can be with friends, friendships, groups, communities, whatever it is. But you got a lot of family energy and work energy. You've got to trust you. You're coming out on top, and you see everything that's happening week by week. This is just saying you've got this major breakthrough. You've got to go all in. You really deeply want something. This is deep, intense passions right here with the Page of Cups and the Knight of Cups. Okay, so you're actually really good. Queen of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles, Hierophant, High Priest. You got the pair. That's a lot of wisdom. That's a lot of spirituality. That's a lot of connecting. A lot of emotions. A lot of even like again, that nurturing side. I love that. There's a lot of nurturing here, even with that Queen of Pentacles. You have that Three of Swords. So you see that there is going to be something that you're going to go through this month that is highly emotional, because it's a lot of Scorpio energy. But in the end, you come out so much stronger. I'll even clarify that Ten of Swords for you. Look at that Page of Swords. So you're good. It's when that's done, remember, blessing in disguise, new mindset. Okay? You're ready to go. Aries, you're amazing. Thanks so much. Next week, we will go deeper in the aspects. If you like this reading, it'd be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments. Oh, yes. And second spread. Let's do it. It is the we'll look at love, career. We'll look at things. Yeah. Health. Well, yeah. Tier 3 members, you know where to find the link. Anyone is welcome to join. Really good and legendary. I will see you next week. Y'all are amazing. Bye-bye.